Today we get to take a look at these two figures from Jada Toys, and this is the Cyberpunk series, and I'm an idiot. So welcome to the show. Originally this video was going to be about the Cyberpunk figures. However, we can now officially go to Night City. That's what it's called, wasn't it? So while we enjoy this diorama, we're also gonna semi-review these action figures because, you know what, you've probably already seen those figures get reviewed, but today we are going to put them in this diorama and make for a perfect shelf display. So we have Lucy and David. Now I'm gonna say right off the bat, I'm very surprised that this is the version of David they went with, because there are more episodes of him not all beefed up than there are of this. So weird. Thanks to Hero HQ Hobby Hour, we now have a diorama broken down in 4 convenient pieces and built with absolute perfection. I have his dioramas in my videos all the time anyway. So if you're curious whose those came from, this is the artist, okay? So Hero HQ Hobby Hour, you can follow him. You can easily just scan this QR code or use the link down in the description. I just want you to be able to enjoy this thing as much as I am. I already did the video, but I'm looking at it over there and I still enjoy it. So I guess both words were correct. So taking this thing out of the box, everything was wrapped in bubble wrap, of course, is very nicely packaged. And then each piece you notice, or I noticed, maybe you don't see that, there are magnets. That's right, this thing can just snap together. And everything is cut to perfection so that it all just lines up so well. Even the cuts in the concrete for the sidewalk are the right proportions. And obviously, you don't have to use this thing full width. You could just go half size and have 2 separate sections. Altogether, this thing is 24 inches wide and about 13 inches tall. So this is a big chunker of a diorama, but I can tell you right now, this thing feels very solid. It's thick, but because like most dioramas, they're built with a foam, it's very lightweight. I mean, just look at the insane detail across this thing. He added wires for this like electrical box. The paint on the bricks and everything, and the cracks, the worn out edges across the top of it, where there's like, you know, everything's weathered perfectly. All the posters and stuff, and then he included a bunch of like newspaper pieces and this barrel with the trash can in it. So perfectly done. I don't know how he put a plastic bag in there. It looks like that, and you know, he's basically working with magic. So he should be Magic HQ Hobby Hour. Rebel 10 Custom, she did all the soft goods for these, which is crazy. So you're gonna see some incredible work on a mass-produced level. So let's just open them. We'll start with David, the one I like the least, I think. I like David. I just like this version of David the least. Oh, I guess I should show you the back of the box just in case. Incredible artwork. Curious who did that, or if it's just yeah, I mean, who did it? Oh, and I guess for any of those that like to toss their boxes, don't, because it's proof. It's not really a sleeve, it's the actual inside print of the box, so you can't use that. Sorry, box. What's nice about Jada Toys is they're also very affordable. So the retail price of this thing, what, 25, 30, 35? You don't get a lot, but you get a good range of necessary things, I would say. Pistol is very basic. There's just a little bit of paint on a gray thing. And then you get this arm cannon, which pops out of his forearm. Jada Toys is like a great entry level. Should I say entry level? It's not the cheapest stuff out there. I like their products more than I like Marvel Legends stuff, especially, I mean, look at this. But it's not like a premium thing. It's not like a NECA item that might historically come with a bunch of accessories and a lot more paint. But whatever. Left hand, which is a gripping of some sort. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to hold something in particular, but there's not really anything in particular in this setup. Alternate face in the box, you know, looks pretty good. The paint's fine. Back to the figure though. He's got this face on by default, which is, wait, did we talk about the trigger finger? So let's do that first. On his right hand, he's got a trigger finger, okay? So you don't get duplicates, you don't get a trigger finger for the left and then a gripping for the right, you just get what you get, okay? So get over it, man. Where were we? This face, the neutral one, looks good. I mean, looks very much like David from the anime, so that's cool. And if you haven't watched this show, it is worth watching. It's pretty intense and gruesome. On by default, he's got some punching hands. Looks good. I mean, sculpt is certainly there. Again, this is the big beefy version of David that I just prefer not to have. But there's his arm cannon, so he can go pew 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 pew. You know, I don't even remember the arm cannon. I remember his everything else, and that's another thing. It's like you made this version of David versus the one that we all kind of mostly are familiar with. As far as the details, the rest of the figure, the jacket, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you go to Rebel 10 Customs. Look at this thing. This is fantastic. Based right here in the US of A in Kentucky, I think. Now, is it Southern Kentucky where you say 606? Rebel 10, I know you watch the show sometimes, but do y'all say 606 where you are? But I love the details of this. It's a great material. It's like nylon or something. It seems like it's going to be durable. It's got the liner on the inside and just enough so that you can see it, but not in the back where it would like mess up and be too thick for articulation stuff. So this is a good combination of stuff. There we go. So now you can see all his robotic stuff. Not only got all of these like cuts and stuff going on in that forearm cannon, but he's apparently got robo nips. I think that I may prefer to have robo nips myself. Is that an option? How do you do that? This is the spinal thing upgrade that he gets like pretty early on. Looks like we're gonna have a lot of articulation, which is great and kind of expected with Jada Toys. They're really good about that. Excellent. Wow. Okay, this is great with the range. So pretty much exactly what you want out of the head. The arms can cross, which is crazy. They go back really, really well. And then, I mean, it's just like so free flowing. There's no restriction really on anything. Ab crunch is pretty good. He can still do splits even with these things hanging off of his kicks forward, back a bit, double jointed knees. Awesome. Now it's time for the one that arguably I will like the most. Arguably? No. I'm pretty sure. God, I'm so stupid. Just open the thing and stop trying to use words. Pretty good setup of things. So by looking at those things with our eyeballs, we'll know more. God, what am I even saying? Pretty basic. Again, it's just a black plastic with a little bit of blue. Tendril thingies that come out of her wrists are bendy wires, which is nice. So you can get basically whatever pose you want out of these things. Now she gets a left and right trigger finger, which is nice. How come David doesn't? I don't know. Then you get this punching hand for people that need to get punched in the nards. Now, when something is not owned by Disney, you end up with things like this, a cigarette hand, which is crazy. Now, that's okay. It happens in the show, right? So why wouldn't she have this as a figure? Pretty neat accessory. Don't smoke, folks. Alternate head is looking nice. It's not perfect, but I like it. There's just something about that mouth that seems a little off. The head by default is this one, which definitely looks nicer. The lips will look a little bit better. It still doesn't really look like her that much to me. Like, it doesn't have that anime look where David was like very clear to me that was him. This one just seems a little different. On by default, she's got this kind of clawing hand and this grippy hand. I don't know. They're just a little bit different, obviously, as you can see with your own eyes. The soft goods jacket is really nice, man. As far as the rest of the body and the sculpt, I mean, it's looking good, okay? Not a lot to say. Pretty minor paint work. Any of the things that I've like sounded like I'm complaining about, not really complaints, I guess, because for the price, you can't beat it. Jada's probably the best toy company on the market for that price. It's wild, and they're just producing so much stuff, and if you're a Street Fighter fan, you can get everything. They're making more figures from this line eventually, plus they have all the cereal mascot stuff. They have other things I can't remember. Scooby-Doo, that's one. So definitely a brand to be familiar with if for some reason you're not already. She can look down a bit. She doesn't have quite the range looking down like David does. Side to side is still nice. She doesn't have butterfly joints, so she can only go straight forward. She can crunch pretty well. Back is nice. Side to side is really good. Legs go out into perfect splits. Great figure, very small. I think she's kind of got a little more variety in accessories. And having her next to David, there you go. You can recreate your favorite scenes from like the last episode or two. You can't to the other stuff. It still blows my mind. This is the David they chose. It looks great, but why did you choose that version? But look, at the end of the day, if you are in need of completing your cyberpunk figures scene, or really anything future, you could put any future things in there. How about that? Because cyberpunk is kind of like a whole vibe. Look at these guys in the scene. You can see that this is a perfect way to bring everything together. So if cyberpunk is a line that you're collecting from Jada Toys, then I think at least half of this dio needs to go home with you. So hit up Hero HQ Hobby Hour, talk to him, find out what diorama that's going to work for you in your space. And just to help you with the size of this thing with other figures, let's just go through and check out what we've got. NECA Toon Ninja Turtles, NECA Movie Turtles, Daima Goku, Flipor, Lotto Toys Leah Alopex, SH Figuarts Momo, this Dragon Ball bike, and that should hopefully help you figure out the size of this thing. Aside from the fact I told you it's 24 by 13. That should also help. Anyway, there you go, folks. What do you think? You like these figures? Are you going to get them for yourself if you already pre-ordered them? Maybe from somewhere like Nerdzoic? If you like these and you want to see some more stuff from Jada Toys, then click the top link there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.